Warning: the following podcast show that you're about to listen to will include explicit language and content in which you, the members of the audience, may find offensive. Audience discretion is advised.
Welcome to another episode of the Kim Hoang Podcast Experience.
Yeah, boy.
Where anything and everything is a subject matter on the show, and no subject matter is ever taboo.
Damn, that's what's up with you.
And now, your host with the most, Mr. Kim Hoang. Bro, am I getting paid for this?
Hello everybody, what's good? How you doing? This is your boy Kim Hoang, the Asian sensation, the host with the most, the man with the plan. You know that I'm the voice, and you know that I am the choice. And we're here once again on another episode of the Kim Hoang Podcast Experience, coming at you live all the way from the Prototype Studio in Wheaton, Maryland, which is located over in the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area. We are really glad to be here, and we're glad that you are here. So the fact that we were just here chilling, having a good time, I'm in the booth, and to all of our loyal listeners who love our podcast, that support it, and that has subscribed to it, we thank you once again for just hanging out with us and having a good time as always. And for those that are actually giving us a chance here by being a first-time listener, we thank you for the opportunity. Thank you so much for dropping in and just visiting and having a good time. We hope that you will enjoy the podcast, and we hope that going forward, you'll continue to like and subscribe to our podcast and all of the podcasting platforms, which I will give information on by the end of the episode. And we love it. We're here. It's a beautiful, beautiful day, a great afternoon here over in the Prototype Studio. I just walked outside a little bit earlier today. Just stepped out on the deck and, was breathing a little bit, taking it all in. And by this time right now, because we're in almost in November, but it's about late October, a few more days away from Halloween. Surprisingly, it is a good day, and it is warm, and it is nice, and I love it. I think it's incredible that we are at this moment of the calendar year, and it's still really amazing. It's awesome. The fact that we do have warm weather, it's great. I'm hoping, and again, I am hoping that maybe by the end of this year, it'll still be warm and nice and amazing. I'm not 100% sure if that will be the case, but I am hoping that it will. So let's just hope for the best here, guys. And let's just hope that, for depending on where you live, that the rest of the year, weather-wise, climate-wise, will be pleasant. I don't want to, I've said this many a times, I am not a cold weather guy by any means. I definitely appreciate the change of the season because, times change and they go by quick and so forth, and I like that. I really do. But the fact that, coldness comes in over, at least in the DMV, because that's where I'm at, not really liking that, you know what I mean? So, as always, Hector, my man Hector, is around, but he's just not here in the booth, go figure. So he's probably just doing some stuff here or there. Bob is actually out on assignment doing something technical, so I'm not really worried about it. And that's okay because, that gives a chance for you and I to kind of hang out, have a good time, do what we do, and just, shoot the breeze, chew the fat, spit it out, and just, have a good moment here on the Kim Hoang Podcast Experience. A lot to talk about today and so forth. But before I get into all that, I want to give a quick shout out. Yes, I want to give a quick shout out because I'm very happy for all of you guys that know, I am a big sports fan. I am a definite sports fan. I love to watch, most of the sports and so forth. And I got to give credit where credit is due, because as of right now, the Baltimore Ravens are 5-2. We just got off of a great win yesterday against Tampa Bay, and now going into week 8, we're going to go against the Browns. I have a good feeling that game, at least in my opinion, we might take that one. But if there's one thing that I've learned in my life, is that one thing's for sure is, nothing is for sure. You know what I mean? I don't want to be the person that is very arrogant, you know what I mean, and so forth. So I'd rather not, rub it in people's faces and so forth. But with the record of like 5-2, it's really respectable. We're in a good situation right now. I mean, we're not the Panthers, that are 1-6. Sorry about that, because we're not. We're not the New England Patriots that are also 1-6. We're not the Cleveland Browns that are currently 1-6, and we're not the Tennessee Titans that's 1-5. You know what I mean? We are the Baltimore Ravens, and we are 5-2 with a 5-game win streak, no less. I mean, we lost the first two to the Kansas City Chiefs and the Las Vegas Raiders. And which, in my opinion, and many opinions of the fans, we really shouldn't have lost that too. But it is what it is. We have to go. We have to make mistakes in order to improve and be better. And the fact that since that time where we lost 2 straight and then we won 5 straight, is incredible. So I'm liking that. I'm liking our odds. I think that we are a team to contend with right now. And as far as I know right now, everything is good in the hood. So that's what I got to say. So let's go ahead and kick it off, guys. A lot's happening because we will be talking about something now. And then on round 2, which when we come back for the second segment, something else will happen. And of course, as you know, we're always going to have a Q&A form. But I want to go ahead and jump into it. The last episode that you heard about, I talked about Miscalculated Part 2. And I kind of gave you a little information on what was going on. And I wanted to talk a little bit about what my opinions were on, Miscalculated 2. What I thought, in my mind, what the possible plot was all about. There have been some corrections. You know what I mean? Some things that I just now heard about and so forth, and things I want to get the record straight. But I do want to announce right now that, I'm going to use the words and the terms that people in the acting industry understand. And that is that, ladies and gentlemen, I booked it. You are talking to one of the new acting, actors on the acting cast of the upcoming Miscalculated 2 movie, which is now titled Uncalculated. So I am now a part of the acting cast of Uncalculated. And I also want to announce publicly that the role that I actually will be portraying is the notorious Benny Chow. Yes. Now, I already have it on good authority because I saw it on Facebook where the director of Miscalculated, which is now the director of Uncalculated, Romel Xavier Morales, he actually dropped, some announcements on his own personal social media pages, i.e. Facebook. So and here's the rule of thumb, when the director or the producers drop the announcement on social media, that means at that point you can share the information and you can make an announcement as well. Because if they did it, it's okay. If you drop the announcement and you didn't have permission to do it, that's a problem. Especially when you sign a non-disclosure agreement, an NDA. But since that, he spilt the news, then it's okay. And yeah, I am really excited about this, ladies and gentlemen, because I didn't really know what was going to happen in Uncalculated, who was going to be involved, the cast members, the crew, and so forth. It was a lot of mystery going on here because we didn't know. We did not know. We were kind of wondering for a very long time in limbo what was going to be happening. The most important elephant in the room we had to address was that we didn't know whether or not if Miscalculated, because it did so well, back in 2023 when it debuted, for, a premiere that happened over at the Greenbelt Theater, we didn't know whether or not if it was going to be received so well. We kind of had educated guesses, and we had theories on, what was going to happen and the plot and everything, and what, the presentation was going to be about. Only because we've only seen pictures here and there, and we've heard actors talk about their experiences and what they did and so forth. So we were like really in limbo to see what was happening. And because Miscalculated did so well, that's when, like I said in the last episode, there was a lot of buzz. There was a lot of buzz. A lot of people were talking about, whether or not if it was going to happen again. And now that, number one, Rommel actually made the announcement that, it's going to happen again, and it's going to be called Uncalculated. And number two, the fact that Rommel actually dropped news about certain actors coming back to reprise some of their roles. I was like, yo, this is incredible. Case in point, my man Pat Bean and Jay Washington are coming back. They were in the first one, returning as Harold Dixon and Get Jiggy, which I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. You know what I mean? This is really awesome. Paul Cornelius Jerry will be returning as Spider, and Raymond Ritzow is coming back as Manny. I thought that was pretty cool. You know what I mean? I was not surprised when this happened, but, it was kind of expected. Dameron Kirby coming back as Detective Jeremy Evans. And, of course, the man himself, Rommel Xavier Morales, coming back as Detective Pierre Martin. Already, the buzz is circulating right now about, what's going to happen. I don't know, but I will say this right now. When I got the message from Rommel, and he said that we wanted you to come back, number one, I was actually filled with a lot of happy emotion and excitement, because I had so much fun at the first one that I knew that with the new one coming in, I wanted to be involved in some way. And I was thinking, at the time, because I didn't really know so much, I was like, if I came back as a new character, because, Benny Chow was, kind of left in his own misery in the first one after, a very epic fight scene. For those that have not seen it and want to either see it for free, if you want to see it for free, you can see it on Tubi. If you want to go ahead and support the film and buy it, you can actually buy it for $4.99 off of Amazon Prime Video. But it was a great project. I loved it. I knew that I wanted to be a part of it somehow, because I felt like I could have contributed in some way, shape, or form. Even if I wasn't going to be an actor in it, I was going to be if I can contribute in some way, even if I'm behind the scenes, I think I would have been able to do it, and I would have been okay, no problem. But the fact that, we are here again, and I've been given the green light, I've been given a good offer and a great opportunity to be Benny Chow once again. I am literally just happy. I am literally smiling ear to ear, folks. It's incredible. It's wonderful. And the fact that, this happened, I don't want to get too over dramatic. Some people might say, are you going to cry about it? I might. I might, just because I would have the tears of happiness, man. I would have the tears of joy. It'd be incredible. It'd be lovely. And the fact that, we're going to be doing this, we're going to have fun, and we're going to do it again is incredible. Already, it's shaping to be a real good opportunity, and that it's a good cast. Do I know about what's going to be happening in terms of the plot? For Uncalculated, no, I don't know yet. You know what I mean? I haven't gotten that information yet. I am excited, though. I am excited because I really want to see where this goes. I mean, I'm not sure what's going to happen. I have no idea what's going to happen. It's not like I have a script and I read it and I know what's happening, because I don't. You know what I mean? All I know is I was asked, and, without a shadow of a doubt, I jumped up immediately and I said, heck yeah, dude, I'm so there. I am so there. Like, did you really? Honestly, I wanted to act smart and say, did you really want to ask me that question? You know what I mean? And I mean that in a respectful way. Like, did you really have to ask me that question? Because there are some projects that I'm really passionate about and I'm very happy about. And if it's a director that I really have a lot of love and respect for and I had a really good time and good energy with, you best believe that I would jump in on the opportunity, no doubt. And that's just speaking for me. I can't speak for anybody else. I can only speak for me and my experiences and what I am feeling. And again, if I have nothing but, good times and good experiences from the last one, especially because you're associated with it, if you're the director or, you're the assistant director, or your just name is just like pasted on there by association, you best believe I'm going for it, because I know then, by reputation, it's a real good situation. And I like it. I really like it. To actually be Benny Chow once again is incredible, because it's like when I did the very first Miscalculated, I kind of knew Benny. I learned a lot about Benny. And I think that it's true what they say for actors, that certain roles will always stick with you forever, and some of them will always be with you, like, their mannerisms or whatnot. And I agree with that, because it's like you took your time to go ahead and invest in character development. You were in that stage and you were trying to, find out who this person was and what their backstory is, and trying to develop something with your own twist and maybe have your own backstory behind this guy. And I'm looking forward to, what will happen here. I don't know specifically where it's going to be filmed, other than the fact that it's possibly going to be somewhere in the DMV for sure. Whether Washington, D.C., somewhere in the state of Maryland, or in Northern Virginia. When are we going to start filming it? Probably in the beginning of 2025 in January, which is a good time. And I'm looking forward to it. Like, I'm really looking forward to it. I am forever grateful for all opportunities. Let me just say it right now. And I'm definitely very appreciative about this opportunity. And I just want to go ahead and put it on record right now that I want to thank Ramel Xavier Morales, hands down, because he took a chance on me on Miscalculated. He gave me an opportunity, and I took it as far as I could, and it was incredible. And to have me on board once again, and you're like, hey, I want you to be in there, I was like, yo, I'm sold. I am so sold. You got it. I'm definitely there. No problem. I mean, I have no problems in this, in this situation and being in this project, and it's going to be incredible, and to the producers of Miscalculated, such as Dameron Kirby, then we have Sean Queen and Nabil Malik, who are the producers, of Miscalculated, and everyone that's involved with Miscalculated Productions and Morales Motion Pictures. I want to thank each and everybody, all the crew members, all the officers, for bringing me back in once again for this opportunity. I don't know what's going to happen, but I can promise you this. Going into filming this project, I can assure you that I'm going to give the best performance that I can. I'm going to definitely give you my 100. And I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that, once again, that, Kim Hoang the actor will give you a memorable moment with his character of Benny Chow. And for people to go like, wow, that Benny Chow's one bad apple scrapper. You know what I mean? Or, yeah, apple scrapper. You know what I mean? Or apple scrapper. Whatever you want to say. But he's just a bad dude, man. And he's iconic. And we really remember him because, like, he's just that character that you can't scratch off your mind because he's that iconic. If there's ever one character that you would remember from Miscalculated, I think Benny Chow definitely has to hit the list for sure. Definitely in the 10, but definitely in the top 5. At least that's my opinion, I feel like. I don't want to be, arrogant or disrespectful or anything, but that's just where I'm coming with it. And I'm glad that I booked it. I'm glad to be a part of it once again. And I'm glad to, be out there with all the other talented actors that make up the acting industry in the DMV. For everybody that is going to be involved in this particular project, number one, congratulations on making it. And number two, I just want to say that, I hope to work with you. But if not, let's do our very best. Let's put our best foot forward. Let's give our 100 on everything that we do here. And last but not least, let's work safe, guys. Let's do what we can. Let's work safe. Let's make it happen because we don't want anybody to get harmed on the set, to get injured. You know what I mean? And I'm lucky enough to be in a situation where, at least for me, whatever project that I was involved in, and when I was there, we didn't get hurt. You know what I mean? We didn't get hurt. And, I want to continue that tradition. So to everybody, let's do what we do best. Let's, let's get this money and let's make this opportunity the best one that we can. Let's take advantage of this opportunity because I think it was former Baltimore Raven, and he was an offensive lineman. My man, Marshall Yondon, number 73, he had always said that, I flip that switch every single Sunday. And he also said, you make the best of your opportunity because it doesn't happen every day. We are in a lucky position to be where we are today and to do what we do and to do what we love. So let's make the best of this opportunity. Let's take full advantage of it. And I think he was right on. He was spot on. But let me go ahead and take a moment. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back with another segment of the Kim Hoang Podcast Experience. You don't want to leave, So let me just say this. Let's take a break. Let's do our thing. Let's come back. Because when we come back, more of the Kim Hoang Podcast Experience is coming, and you don't want to miss out. We'll see you in a bit. I want to tell you about an amazing store that's really good for all musicians, music enthusiasts, and a whole lot more, which is Chuck Levin's Washington Music Center in Wheaton, Maryland. That's right, you heard it correctly. Since 1958, Chuck Levin's has been actually tearing up the game when it comes to the music scene. And guess what? Since 1958, they have been the store to go to and a must-visit destination for any serious musician passing through our nation's capital. So, if you're actually a person that's in a band looking for a new instrument, such as an electric guitar, an acoustic guitar, a bass guitar, or maybe some drums. If you're a DJ looking for like the greatest DJ equipment, such as turntables and so forth, they got you. Hey, are you actually in an orchestra playing a woodwind instrument, brass instrument, or strings? They got you. They got all the classical instruments that you need. And let's not forget, for all my fellow podcasters, need a microphone? They got you. Need a podcasting vocal track recorder? They got you. They got everything, man. And I'm telling you, it's the best place to go. So if you want to check them out, go ahead and do so, because right here at Chuck Levin's, they're the best. Forget the rest. Mess with the best. Located over at 11151 Veers Mill Road in Wheaton, Maryland. They're open Monday through Saturdays, 10 a.m. until 6 p.m. If you want to know more about what they have to offer, you can go over to chucklevins.com online or give them a buzz at area code 301-946-8808. Chuck Levin's Washington Music Center. Like I said before, don't worry about the rest. Mess with the best.
And now, back to the Kim Hoang Podcast Experience with your host, Kim Hoang.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Kim Hoang Podcast Experience, coming again live from the Prototype Studios in Wheaton, Maryland, close to the Washington, D.C. Borderline. We really appreciate you coming back and so forth. It was a good moment to take a break, and it's really funny because while we were on break trying to relax and get ourselves together, we actually got a mysterious delivery from Uber Eats that originated from Starbucks, where we got like cool coffee drinks and a couple of like baked goods from their bakery section, and it was really awesome. But the only thing that I was really trying to put my finger on it and I couldn't, was the fact that there was no name that was on it. It was just said that it was going to be delivered right here to the Prototype Studio. It had my name on it, to the person that they were going to deliver it to, so i.e. myself, but it didn't have a name of who delivered it, which I was like, I get it for the sense of like, you want to keep it a little bit more mysterious and you want to kind of keep it, dramatic in that sense. But to me, honestly, it's like, if you tell me who actually ordered it, where I come from in my culture, I really would like to give thanks and appreciation to that person, because they did something nice for me and for other people, and they didn't have to. They just did it out of the kindness of their hearts. So the fact that they actually did that and spent their financial resources and gave us something really cool as this, an Uber Eats order, it's very generous. And I just want to say thank you to the mysterious person who did this. Didn't have to. You really didn't. But the fact that you did, totes, and I really do appreciate that. It's really amazing. And I also want to comment that, while we're actually recording this episode today, yesterday, the day prior before recording today, I actually received my eBay order. And it's a long sleeve dress shirt from Under Armour. Like the classic like shirts that you wear with the suit, the button on and everything like that. Well, I got one of those in like a light green color shirt. And all I got to say is Under Armour is incredible. They're a great company, and they know how to make clothes for people. They don't body shame it. They don't say, oh, we're only doing it for this people, these people. We're going to do it for for everybody of every human body type. You know what I mean? Their stuff is made to last. It's great quality. When I wear shirts like these, it's incredible because I can actually move in it. It's great. It has the appearance of a traditional buttoned up dress shirt. and it's just a great fit. You know what I mean? And I like it. I like it a lot. I hope that Under Armour continues to make clothing like this for, like, the fashion sense, for, like, to make, like, cool, fashionable shirts like this, for, like, us wearing suits. But for us folks that, are very physical and we need to have something with comfort, because I think they really understood, the body structure, how two bodies are not the same body type, and they make, clothing for basically everyone, thin, or somebody that's very muscular, or somebody that's rotund, people that are tall, people that are short, whatever. They understand it to the T. And I got to give my love and respect to them. It's pretty incredible. This particular shirt, this light green shirt that I ordered, I'm actually going to be wearing it for a film that I will be involved in, called Fate of Fury, the fan film, that is going to be working in conjunction with Charm City Filmmakers of Baltimore, Maryland. And I'm really excited about that. I can't wait to get back on the set and just to do my job and to have fun and to, really put this puppy to rest. We really want to work hard, film it, and get it done. You know what I mean? Because when you start something, you got to finish it. And I think every actor and everybody that's involved in this, we all agree that, we're having fun, but we really need to work hard to put this thing, to pasture so that we can say that we got this done. So I'm going to go ahead and continue on with the second round of the Kim Hoang Podcast Experience after enjoying a very good, comfortable, enjoyable intermission, a break time. I know that I probably talked about this before previously on another episode by using the term. At least I know today in this episode I've used the term, but I don't recall if I ever made a full-fledged episode out of it. And I have to say this. If I did, and you already understand it, and you get it, and you're just like, dude, I understand this already, I do want to apologize. You know what I mean? I do. I'm just trying to do what I do best here. But for those that don't understand about what I'm going to do and what I'm going to say, welcome. Welcome to, welcome to the madness, and enjoy your stay. You know what I mean? It's going to be awesome. And, I always make episodes so that, for the people that don't understand it, you get an education. You get an education and about the situation. It's not to say, oh, well, I'm trying to bore people with, to other people that already know it. If they know it, that's good. But if they want to hear it again, that's also good too, because it serves as a friendly reminder. But this is also for the people that may be unaware, because there's certain things that people engage in that the other people don't know. And if you kind of give them a little bit of an education on the situation, on certain terminologies and rules and regulations and et cetera, you're doing yourself a service and whatnot. So let me go ahead and explain it, to talk about the term booked it. And now, once again, for those that probably heard it or not, I'll explain that when you say booked it, especially in the sense of, acting, because we're going to continue on with this, on the theme of acting, when you booked it, that basically means that you had auditioned for a movie production, a future movie production that they're going to film. And they offered you a role, and they said, hey, you know what? We want to have you in there because we think that you qualify very well for this role. And when you book it, that means you accepted the role. Now, it's a great feeling to be able to say that you booked it, because you become a part of a cast, an acting cast of a project. And you potentially had, beat out a lot of other talented actors who are possibly jockeying for the same position. Now, obviously there are some rules to the game and some things and so forth, and I wanted to talk about that a little bit. I mean, things about why not, certain things about what you do and so forth. So this is kind of my education to you. Now, if you booked the role, and you accepted it, you basically accepted it because, number one, you felt like this was a really good role for you and it's a great opportunity, and you don't want to waste the opportunity. You want to actually be a part of it. It's amazing. The role fits very well like a glove, and you're embracing it, and you feel good enough that, you can deliver, which is awesome. That's one reason why you would book it. Another reason why you book it is because maybe for some actors, I'm not saying every actor, but for some, maybe you don't have anything going on right now, and you want to keep yourself relevant, and you want to keep yourself busy with certain acting opportunities, and that's fair. There could be you haven't had like an opportunity for 2 years acting in a local film that's going to be filming around, let's say, Washington, D.C. And it was really bugging you, and all of a sudden you audition for this particular project that's going to happen, and, you got in. And you quickly accepted it for the fact that you want to keep busy, you want to keep your acting chops, sharpened up and oiled and ready to go, and you want to engage in the activity and so forth. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I feel like that's a fair shot. That is a fair shot, and that's okay. Now, the only reasons why you wouldn't accept this role and you would not book it, which means that you rejected it, is the following. Number one, you don't agree with the role that you got. You think that you were worth something a little bit more, and you felt like this was just not what you were looking for. You know what I mean? So obviously at that point, you would talk to the director in general and say, as much as I do appreciate it, I'm going to have to decline because, this is not where I saw myself. I saw myself as this role and not this role. And for all intents and purposes, because we can't agree on that, I'm going to have to respectfully decline, which does happen. It's common as you think. I mean, it's just as common as drinking water. You know what I mean? It's that common. So, that's one reason why that you wouldn't have booked it. Another reason why you wouldn't book it is because maybe, when it came to, you heard about certain information about, when they're going to go ahead and film it, timing wise, it conflicts. Maybe you are filming in another project during that time frame. It's not going to work out because you actually had this project first before the one that you may have possibly accepted, and there's no way that you want to work two projects in the same time period so close to each other. And I get that, because the one thing that you want to do is that you do not want to double book yourself. It has happened before, and I've heard the horror stories. I've heard horror stories of an actor who actually not just double booked himself, but triple booked himself. And one day he had to go to 3 filmings, and it was really stressful for him. And the thing about it is that he kind of got confused with the dates. He didn't realize it was on this date. He thought that, the film that he was going to be working on was this date, so that he booked it on the date of that filming without even realizing it and thinking, oh, I got it, no problem. It turns out as soon as, he put in the information on his, app for his, his calendar app to make a schedule, it was not good. So don't be the guy to go ahead and double book or triple book yourself, for a project. It's going to be really bad. You know what I mean? So I do understand that, and that's to be respected, because you don't want to be in a time frame where it's like, man, if I'm already committed to this, but now I have this, it puts both projects in jeopardy. I would always tell people, take it one project at a time. Now, it would be different if you were filming one day, let's say on a Saturday at this date, and then 2 weeks from now, that other project that you're interested in, that's when they're going to be filming. In that case, it's like, I can handle that. But, you never want to try to book yourself so close to each other in dates. You know what I mean? Especially on the same day. So that's something to consider. Another reason why people don't book it is because maybe that the location is a little bit too far. And I understand that. We live right here. I am from the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area. And if anybody says, it's in the Washington, D.C. area, it's about like maybe 5 or 10 miles from where you are, I would highly consider that. I really would, because it's close by, you know what I mean? And it makes, traveling a little bit more easier in a sense, whether if I can carpool, whether if I need to take an Uber, or if I just can go ahead and catch the bus or the train through the metro systems of the Washington, D.C. area. But if it's something like, hey, it's an hour away or 2 hours away, that does seem to be a little bit tough, unless you know for certain that you have a guaranteed ride over there, whether if it was agreed upon by, the production team and the director and the producers, or, from an outside source, and that this ride or this method of getting there to the set is dependable, then fine. No problem. But if you have a transportation issue and it's a little bit too far, I would say don't do it. Don't do it at all. You know what I mean? So just a little bit of things to think about, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to like whether or not, if you want to book the thing or not. I'm sure that there are other reasons why people don't book it. Maybe it's just that they feel like the role is a little bit too difficult, or, they feel like the role is just not for them, whether, it's beneath them or whatever. There are some very valid and opinionated reasons on why people would either accept, which is booking the role and booked it, or not book the role and reject it by whatever reason. Again, be respectful, be professional. Make sure that if you book it, it's something that you can do. It's something that you're okay with and that you have free time with. If you're trying to double book or triple book yourself for doing like 3 projects at the same time, you need to think twice. You don't want, in acting, in the world of acting and being an actor, we're super busy. You don't want to burn the candle at both ends, or at 3 ends or 4 ends, because that way, if you do try to attempt that, it just makes it a very bad situation. You will develop a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, and just a lot of negative energy that would basically shut a person down. So just, in light of that situation, just be careful. Be careful. Take some time, think about it, strategize, and then make your decision on, which roles that you want to book and which ones that you want to just, respectfully decline. Either way, if you do accept it, or if you decline it, and then I think that I know for a fact that the directors and the producers, they can't say anything bad about it, because you let them know ahead of time and right then and there that, it's not going to work out. And chances are they're going to respect you for it, because if there's one thing you have to respect, it is a director and a production team's time on, filming. if you waste their time or you deliver broken promises, it's not going to be a good look for you. Everybody that was involved will remember it, and they may actually spread the word around about your reputation for, doing such things like that. And let me tell you something, in the community, people talk. Word travels fast. Don't be that person. Make sure that you're okay with booking the position or the role that you want to be in. Make sure that you will accept it wholeheartedly, and make sure that you do have free time. That's all. We're going to go ahead and take a break. We're going to come back when we do for round 3, the greatest segment of them all, the Q&A section, which is question and answer. You ask them questions and we answer it, and we can't wait. So go do your thing, take a break, but come back, because the Kim Hoang Podcast Experience will return in full force, and we can't wait to provide more of the debacle, and we can't wait to actually cause more of that chaos and bedlam that we do here on the Kim Hoang Podcast Experience. We'll see you in a bit, guys. All right. In life, we all want to have great health and excellent physical fitness. However, it's never given, only earned. That said, if you want to go to a gym that will help you to get there, then look no further than Kicked Up Fitness at National Business Parkway in Annapolis Junction, Maryland. Their mission at Kicked Up is to provide the ultimate functioning training facility that focuses solely on your success, with a diverse team that's highly qualified and dedicated to taking your fitness goals to the next level. Kicked Up also offers a variety of group classes and personal training programs that provide something for everyone, regardless of your fitness level. They believe in working hard, achieving results, all while having fun. So come visit their facility in person, which is located at 114 National Business Parkway, Suite 100 in Annapolis Junction, Maryland, 20701. Now, if you see my friend Sean Queen, who's the owner of Kicked Up, tell him that Benny Chow of Miscalculated sent you, and he'll hook you up with a complimentary 7-day pass just to try it out. Need more info? Give him a call. 410-888-9066. Email them at kufitnessnbp@gmail.com, or visit them at their website at www.kufitnessnbp.com. Kicked Up Fitness. Never given, only earned.
And now, back to the Kim Hoang Podcast Experience with your host, Kim Hoang.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Kim Hoang Podcast Experience. I'm glad that you guys are back. We've had a great time today creating awesome content, and for this episode to be made by yours truly, so that I can provide this episode to you guys, all the subscribers and loyal listeners, and to the new fans out there and the new followers. We really do appreciate it. Just a couple of closing notes before we actually reach to that point of the show. The Kim Hoang Podcast Experience is asking for help on a voluntary basis. To anyone that would like to assist us in our podcast show, by the way, is a sponsorship / and or financially donating to the podcast show to help make the quality of our podcast that much better. Any and every dollar that we raise, that the proceeds of that will go towards getting more equipment and better equipment that we need for our podcast, such as microphones for in-studio guests, XLR cables for those type of microphones that we'll need, headphones for the in-studio guests, and etc. Even a MacBook Pro. We're trying to raise money for a MacBook Pro so that we can actually edit our podcast episodes, and then when it's finalized, it's actually in 100% top quality because of the computer that we have, the MacBook Pro that we have. Now, whatever that you can donate, no matter if it's insert the joke here. If you want to donate $5 million, that's awesome, and that would be great. Although I don't think anybody would want to donate that much, but you never know. To even as low as like $5, every little bit helps, and we could appreciate it. Once again, to donate, it is on a voluntary basis, and you can do it as frequently as you want. If you want to do it every, if you want to donate every week, you can do that. If you want to donate every 2 weeks, you can do that. If you want to donate every month, that's awesome. Or if you just want to do a one-time thing, that's cool. Now, you can make the donation by either PayPal, Venmo, and or CashApp. Just go ahead, if you're going to do it at PayPal or Venmo, just go ahead and donate to our tag name, or aka the screen name, at KimHoangMDActor. That's once again @ KimHoangMDActor. Or if you have Cash App, go ahead and donate it over to my tag name / screen name, which is the $, KimHoangMDActor. Once again, that's the $, KimHoangMDActor. That's KimHoangMDActor. That being said, dun 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 dun. Or better yet, can I do this? There we go. That's the cue that I'm looking for. It is time for the main event of this podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Your favorite segment in mine, which is the Q&A segment, question and answer. You ask those questions, and baby, we will answer it. And we have 7 good ones here. I'm pretty excited. I'm really, I'm just all in the feels, as they say in the business. So I'm going to go ahead and get it going here. Let's get it cracking. The game has started. Q&A is in effect. Question number 1. Kim, back in episode 29 of this season, you said that you were going to be in a new journey of your life where you will begin a new job opportunity. How is that going currently? And can you divulge any information on that? Sarah from Gunnison, Colorado. Yes, Sarah, I did say that I was going to be having a new job opportunity, and that it was a real good opportunity, and I was looking forward to it. As of right now, as we stand, I'm still in that job, about 2 months in strong, and I'm feeling really good about it. I'm feeling really happy. I like the job. It's incredible. I work with a nice staff. And obviously, it's one of those things where even though I've been there for 2 months and I know a little bit, I'm still a learning type of individual and process, meaning that I'm learning as I'm going, but I'm, embracing it and taking it all in. You know what I mean? This is one of those jobs for the first time in quite a while that I'm very happy about it. And it's awesome. It is metro accessible, meaning I take the metro bus every day. So yeah, I do public transportation, and I'm not mad I'm not mad about it, or I'm not ashamed to say it. And it's incredible. I can't tell you what I do in terms of or I can't tell you about where I actually work at, because I try to kind of keep that private, not even giving out information in terms of, what I say here. But I will say it is a great company to work for. And my position is that I am a warehouse associate. And again, it's great. It's wonderful. I have no problems with the job at all. I've been blessed. And that's all I'm going to say. It's a great opportunity. And, I can just sit down and smile. And every day that I go to work, before I enter through the door of going into work, I smile, And when I leave work and I close and lock the door, I smile at the door and I just like point my finger right at the door, and it's kind of like my way of saying, you know what, awesome times, I'll see you tomorrow. Or if it's like Friday, I'll be like, awesome times, have a good weekend, see you on Monday. So that's where that's at. Question number 2, Kim, why do you dislike phones that are non-iPhone? Can you say anything nice about them? Luis from Soda Springs, Idaho. It's Luis, I gotta say, to me, it's more that it's my preference of liking iPhones a lot better, because I feel that the iPhone is a little bit more easier for me, especially when I used to work at the Apple store, and how, it can sync with your MacBook Pro or your iMac or any Mac computer system. And you can actually show cool things from your iPhone through an Apple TV if you have an Apple TV. You know what I mean? And I think it's great, and I think it's wonderful. I'm not mad at anybody that, has an Android and loves it. I mean, that's your choice. That is a choice that you made. I will say that what I do like about the Android phones, especially the Samsung ones, visually speaking, in terms of their camera, when you take a picture or if you take a video, it's really crisp and clear. It's super, super good. But I always have this thing, and I don't know if I'm going to get shot in the foot by somebody by saying this, but I just think that there's a saying where they say, what, this person invented the wheel. Well, if Android invented the wheel, that's cool. I just feel like the iPhone put a better spin on it. That's just my opinion. I'm not saying that as a fact. I'm saying that as an opinion. You know what I mean? So, Luis, if that's anything, there you go, bro. Question number 3, Kim. What are your opinions on workout modifications? Maya from Portland, Maine. I've actually been to Portland, Maine. It's great. It's awesome. Although I went at a time like when it was like, earlier in like, maybe March or something like that, where it was cold. And, I feel like I need to go again to actually explore it, and just do it at a time where it's like more like spring or summertime. That's the better time for me to explore it. I don't think there's anything wrong with workout modifications if it is justified. Like, and I'm going to say it like this. I don't want to offend anybody. Like, for people that are, getting older, it's a known common fact, we're not getting any younger. So maybe sometimes we can't like lift weights like we used to, like heavy weights like we used to. And it's a little bit, taxing on our bodies, especially our joints and so forth. So, if you're looking for like, I'm just going to lift a lot more lighter weights, but at a higher rep, or I'm just going to use like resistance bands or something like that, that's okay. That's cool. If you're doing a workout modification to kind of substitute for something, I don't think there's anything wrong with it, because, let's say, for example, if you have congestive heart failure, you want to do cardio, but you don't want to do it so much and as an intense that it's going to shut your body down in a very bad way. You really want to exercise smart and intelligently. And I think that making that modification of a workout, you do get, some form of workout, and you do get like the advantages of that workout without any of the guilt. So if it's in a way to, prolong your well-being and being safe, then I think that's cool. If you're just doing workout modifications just because you're lazy and you have, the physical capability of doing so, but you're just trying to really take a shortcut, or you just don't want to do it, that's when I have a problem. But, if you're doing it because you're trying to adjust so that, your body doesn't shut down on you or risking injury, I'm okay with that. Question number 4, Kim, I'm an actor that will work on my first action film, and yet I have no experience in doing fight scenes, which means I have no experience in any form of martial arts and or combative form of fighting. Do you have any advice? Joshua from Boone, Iowa. Joshua, first off, I want to say, man, congratulations on, doing your first action film, and I would assume your first time actually doing a fight scene. Now, if you're green in terms of I don't know how to do any martial art or any form of fighting, or don't have any experience in stage combat and so forth, that's okay. I think the best thing that you can do is talk to the fight choreographer, who most likely will be the stunt coordinator. Go over your advantages of what you can do, and just see a little bit of what's there. He's probably going to test you out to see if you can throw a couple of punches, and then after that, to see what kind of martial arts kicks that you can throw. If you can throw a front kick, if you can throw a side kick, if you can throw a round kick, a spinning back kick. If you need to, throw a spinning hook kick, I doubt that you will. But just in case if it calls for it, we'll see what happens. And a crescent kick and an axe kick. At that point, it's going to be up to the fight choreographer. It's going to be their job to make sure that you get trained in exactly what you need to do and to practice on those moves. And then once you got that down, then it comes to the fight scene itself, which will take some time because it's like learning a new dance. So it's going to take a long time and a lot of repetitions. And there's some things that, right away that you're not going to get. And that's to be expected. Don't put any hard pressure on yourself. Just do the best that you can. Practice a lot. Whatever it is that is required, practice it. Such as your kicking, your punching, maybe a couple of takedown techniques. Make sure that you drill those on an everyday basis so it starts to become second nature. And then when it's time to go ahead and work on, what you need to work on for the fight scene, start piecing that together bit by bit. As soon as you actually get everything, then you can start to pick it up. But don't go from first gear to fourth gear right away. Build it up. You know what I mean? Switch gears slowly, because if you try to do too much things or too many things too fast, people can get hurt. They can get injured. So, take your time with it and just have fun with it, Josh. Have fun with it. Question number 5, Kim, how close are you with your martial art instructors where you actually train at for your martial arts? Victoria from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Victoria, I am very close with my black belt brothers and sisters, senior black belts, and my instructors, my masters, and my grandmaster. They are my family, and I love them, each and every one of them, dearly. They have a special place in my heart, and they mean a lot to me because they see me, they know me, we train together, we share a lot of blood, sweat, and tears together, and they just know me best. They really do. And the fact that they've been by my side, most of them since day one that I started to now, I don't know what I would do without them in my life. I mean, if I never had gone to that point in my life of being a martial artist, I mean, I would still know my grandmaster because I grew up with them and I'm best friends with, both of his sons. But, to actually not be in the martial arts at all, I would not have built that solid friendship with a lot of people in there who I consider my family. And, I would do anything for them. I really would, because they gave their time to help me, back in the days when I was coming up, that I should do the same thing as well. And I have so much to thank for them for that. Thank you, for those lessons. And thank you for keeping me grounded the way that you have. It's incredible. Question number 6. Kim, what's your advice to the martial artists that just earned their black belt rank or black belt rank equivalent? Lorenzo from Coral Gables, Florida? Oh, okay, Coral Gables, Florida. I know where Coral Gables, Florida is at. Lorenzo, first off, I would say, number one, congratulations on earning a black belt or a black belt rank equivalent. You know what I mean? It took a lot of hard work and dedication and a lot of years and a lot of time to get to what initially we thought was the upper echelon of excellence. Now that you got your black belt, it's just a new beginning. Now, I'm not saying tear up the blueprint of what got you there, but I would say take the same blueprint and now start editing it and make it that much more refined, because there's so much more now that you need to learn. Because once you get your first degree black belt, it's basically that you know your basics. Now this is the part of your martial arts journey where you get to go into the deep part of the rabbit hole of the art and to really embrace it even more and to put yourself in even a higher standard of being a martial artist and having that martial arts excellence. The road of this thing, the voyage is long, but it's going to be a great one. And just remember to, always do your best, never give up, always consult with your senior instructors, and your grandmasters to see what needs to be done, because they're not going to lead you astray. They want to make sure that you're doing well and that you're in the right position in life, especially in your martial arts life, because their time that they invest in you is that much more than money. There's much more value of in that time frame than just currency. You know what I mean? So it's important. It's very important. But just do your best, train hard, seek the wisdom, and remember to give back. Your seniors gave to you. Now it's your time to give to the next generation. Plain and simple. Last but not least, question number 7. Kim, what's your philosophy on fashion as a general? Mandy from Calabasas, California. Mandy, my thing is this. I think you should wear exactly what makes you feel comfortable, And I want to say this as an example. If you're a person that's very athletic and you like athletic style of clothing, like the shirts and the shorts and so forth, if you're okay with it, if you feel comfortable with it, then that's fine. You should always wear whatever you feel comfortable in. If you're the type of person that's comfortable in your own skin and you don't mind, kind of switching it up a little bit, by all means, that's awesome. But if you want to wear something that you feel comfortable with and you feel comfortable with it only, and you would never trade it off for anything else, that's totally cool. We don't mind, and I think that's fair. Because at the end of the day, that's going to be on you, and that's what you feel. That it doesn't matter what anybody else feels; it's what you feel. So if you're okay with it, I don't got any beef with it. So it's all good. And that note, we are out of here, folks. We are done. Yes, absolutely. We are done. It is incredible, and I like it. I like it a lot. It's awesome. It was great. I had a blast. And now we got to go ahead and, close this out the right way. Guys, follow the Kim Hoang Podcast Experience. We are on Facebook. Just go over to the search bar and then type in the Kim Hoang Podcast Experience. Like us and follow us. We would appreciate it. We are also on other platforms of social media, on Twitter, now known as X, and on Instagram. You can find us under our tag name or at TKHPC Experience. Once again, that's at TKHPCEXPERIENCE. All lowercase letters, no spacing. Follow us and we'll follow you back. We are on 5 podcasting platforms such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, YouTube Music, and the hybrid podcasting platform, which is also an audiobook platform called Audible, powered by Amazon. And if you want to go ahead and check it out, go to www.audible.com, where they're offering a free trial membership for 7 days. After the 7 days, if you like it, you can become a permanent member, and you can actually go ahead and pay $15 a month. Not bad, where you can get access to all the podcasts in the world and audiobooks. How about that? We want you guys to do us a favor. If you have Spotify and if you have Apple Podcasts, please do us a favor by giving us a 5-star review. And especially like if you're on Apple Podcasts, give us a 5-star review and a positive written review. The reason behind that is very simple, because the more times that you do that for Spotify and or Apple Podcasts, then that means that there'll be an increased chance that our podcast will be thrown at the front of the lines, front page, and people can see it. And then somebody could be like, dude, that is the Kim Hoang Podcast Experience. I heard about that. Michael told me about it. Maybe I should like and subscribe to it. Yes, like the podcast. Subscribe to the podcast on all of those aforementioned podcasting platforms. You know what I mean? We really like it. We definitely appreciate it. And while you're at it, go ahead and share this information with everybody on your social media, such as Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, now known as X, Snapchat, or even TikTok, because sharing is caring. The more that you do it, it's a brand awareness thing, and it's really awesome. Now, if you want to be a guest, or if you want to be a guest host, if you have any questions that you want to ask us on our Q&A session, or if you just have any constructive criticism, please email us at the KimHoangPodcastexperience at gmail.com. Once again, the KimHoangPodcastexperience at gmail.com. THEKimHoangPodcastexperience at gmail.com. So yes, whatever your subject is on that email, put it in the subject box, write in the body of the email what the purpose is all about, and then send it to us. We will actually read the email once you send it to us, and we'll respond back within like a day or two, because, we do like, communication and correspondence in this way. And, we just enjoy all the emails that we do get. You know what I mean? So that's that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a pleasure. It has been great to be here with you guys. But it is time for us to go, because we do have things that we have to do and so forth. I do want to say thank you so much to everybody who has liked our podcast, that has subscribed to it, that continues to support it, that's actually giving it a chance for the first time if you haven't heard it, you know what I mean? To everybody that spreaded the word about it, you know what I mean? I really appreciate that, because it's true what they say, a little goes a long way, and we just love the fact that we're getting steam. We may not be getting as much esteem as everybody stereotypically would expect us to, but if we are winning the hearts of many, one person at a time, I do feel like we're doing something, and it's great and it's awesome. But guys, please be safe out there. Do the right things. Don't do anything that you're going to regret in life, because we don't want you to do anything wrong and then you land in a pine box getting buried 6 feet under, because we don't want that. We want you to be healthy. We want you to be happy, because you deserve it. You deserve the best in life, and it's unfair if you actually start doing things that you're not supposed to do. Do the right things. Take your time with it. Enjoy your life, because you deserve to be healthy. You deserve to be happy. And if anybody else tells you that you don't, you can tell them to go kiss off and just say, you know what, I had enough. I had enough, because I'm not trying to live in a world of negativity that you embrace. I'm trying to be, living the life of a positive way of life. Because at the end of the day, that's all we live for. That's the most important thing. That's key. So, that being said, for the one time, coming all the way from the Prototype Studios in Wheaton, Maryland, located around the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area, this is your boy, Kim Hoang, the Asian sensation. Once again, you know that I am the voice, and you know that I am the choice. And you know that I'm the host with the most. Want to say thank you so much. God bless y'all. We're going to do it again. We'll see you on another episode of the Kim Hoang Podcast Experience. Y'all take care and be good. And I love y'all. It's been real. Peace.